This will be a video walk around of my 2010 Shopmaster Patriot bridge mill combination mill lathe machine. I've had this machine about a week now, just still setting it up. It's the VFD drive version with DRO 3-axis and full CNC conversion. I don't have the CNC hooked up yet, but the DRO is hooked up and working. My machine came with a Gold Star VFD controller, and the stickers aren't on the machine, so I had to ask what the functions of the knobs were before I turned it on. I didn't want to plug in and have it start running. But this knob here on the left selects mill in this position or lathe in this position, and this is a 3-position switch: center off, and then clockwise is forward speed, and counterclockwise is reverse direction. To engage the power, switch it to which feature you want, which direction you want, then you can control the speed with the knob on the VFD controller. So if I turn the knob up, I start to get rotation on the mill. That's full speed. You have a level indication on the controller. I've got a tachometer set up on order from Camtronics. I'm going to put on here to give me a tach readout of the different axes, so that'll help me set the speeds for things. To demonstrate the mill, or correction, the lathe, switch it to lathe, still in the forward direction. Now I can spin up the lathe. I've noticed that there's a squealing noise that comes from the motors at low RPM. That's not a mechanical squeal, because if I turn it by hand, there's no squeal. That's evident. But at low RPM, there's a high-pitched squeal that comes out of there. Maybe you can hear that. And it's electronic in nature, I guess. Goes away at higher RPM. Seems to be RPM dependent. I hooked up the DRO last night. It's not mounted, but turning the axis, the DRO is working. This is a, by the way, this is a 5-inch milling vise. I think some others have said that 4-inch would work well. I tend to agree. This 5-inch is a little big on the machine. I can get by with it, but probably a 4 would be the ideal size for this machine. Just some things about the machine. 1/2-inch T-nuts. I think they're 1/2-inch because my normal size T-nuts don't fit in there. This plate for the axis adjust covers the entrance and the exit to the center T-nut, so that's not available. Some guys have milled that out. That's probably a good modification for this one. I haven't cleaned this machine up at all, or done any adjustment to it or leveling to it. I did make some chips with it last night. I just couldn't control myself, so I had to do it. Here's the tool post that came with it. Took it off so I could mount my vise in there. I haven't really examined it to see if it needs anything. A couple of guys have written that the tool height is wrong, so we'll have to see if that's true on this one as well. This is the cover for the stepper drive for the Y-axis. It's not possible to put the screws in the bottom screw holes because it's blocked by this bolt right here. Doesn't really bother me too much. I just put the screws up in the top and left it at that. Could be modified, I guess, if you really felt strongly about it. The cables for the DRO are quite long. That DRO could be positioned several feet away if you wanted it to be. You can see the DB9 connectors for the CNC were prepared for me to plug right in. Just a look at some of the DRO hookup, back side of the mill, the VFD motor for the mill here. The backlash in the machine seems to be pretty minimal, really. One thing I have noticed on the X-axis here, I doubt if it's visible in the video, but there's quite a bit of rock in it if I reverse it. I think that can be adjusted out quite easily. Some stains on the ways, not really rust, just stains from probably the shipping. Back side of the motor mount. Question was posed in the forum, is the ratio adjustable? And I haven't gotten around to answer that. I will. But other than physically changing pulleys, no, there's no ratio adjustment there. You could come in with different size pulleys and change it, but those weren't provided, and I don't think the intention was to have that done. You can see the X-axis stepper drive down there alongside the motor. The back size of the mill here with the quadrilift. And that's it. That's a little walk around of the 2010 Patriot Shopmaster.